This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hi, Al. Good morning. Is my voice clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, hi. Good morning, Al. Welcome to Selenium Automation. Uh, so here, yes. So before going into the session, just small introduction about me. So I have more than 7 years of experience in automation. So and in yes, more than 7 years of experience in automation. I used to work in different automation tools like Selenium, Protractor, JetSpark, Cypress, and Nightwatch. So I used to work with different languages also. Like I used to work in Selenium with Java, Selenium with Python, Selenium with JavaScript, and Protractor JavaScript, and Selenium with Groovy language also. Yeah. So today our main focus is on why need to learn the Selenium. Why we need to learn the Selenium? Yes. Why we need to learn only Selenium? Yes. Then later, yes, what are the prerequisites or what are the things we are supposed to learn as part of the Selenium? Yes, if you see here, what is an automation? Yes, what is an automation? So automation is nothing but whenever you're trying to test or whenever you're trying to do some actions with the software, whenever trying to do some actions which are exactly user can able to do, or whenever you're trying to mimic the behavior of a human being with the help of the software, yes, then we use it call it as a automation. So here, just we are trying to automate the functionality or process of a mechanism by using the Office software, so that we can able to totally we can able to avoid the human interference. Just please, all of you go to mute. Just we are getting in disturbance. Okay, thank you. What are the different types of automation we are having? Yes, generally, if you are seeing in the market, you may hear about different types of automation. Just like a traditional automation, not nothing but functional automation, or normally used to hear some automation tool names by tool names like Selenium or QTP. Yes. Then recently you can identify one more tools. So recently they occupied in the market those are process automation tool, RPA tools, robotic process automation. Yes, what is the difference between them? So here, traditional automation tools is nothing but the Selenium EFT or RFT or test complete or protractor. These all are the traditional functional automation tools. So here, just we are trying to automate the functionality of an application. Just so here that our main motto is to test the functionality. To test the functionality. Yeah, just a minute. Still, just a minute. Okay, so here we are going to be test the functionality. Here our main motto is testing. Testing is nothing but just we are validating the expected output with the actual output. That's it. That's it. So here we are using some tools like Selenium or UFT or something else. So these tools are not that much intelligent. We are supposed to be automate them by using some programming language. Then process automation tools. So here, just by name, you can see you can say that the first one is the functional automation. That means just we are automating some functionality to test is it working fine or not. To test is it returning the expected output or not. Yes. But while we are looking into the process automation, yes. So here we are our main motive is not a testing. We are not going to test that application. Just we are going to automate that end-to-end process. That's it. The entire process. Either it's so entire process we are going to be automate that. So here in market different tools are available for the process automation. That one is AA automation, Automate Anywhere, or Blue Prism, or UiPath, or some other tools also there. So these all are developed on top of AI, artificial intelligence. So obviously, so whenever the tool is developed on top of the automation, artificial intelligence, obviously those are licensing tools. So we are supposed to be pay something. So here we are not going to be touch anything in process automation. So here our motto is functional automation. Yes, we are going to be test is that function is working fine or not. So that we are going to be test some functionality of an application. We are not going to be automate the process. Yes. So these are the different automation tools in market. So this is one of the question in market. So what is the difference between the normal functional tools? Then what is the difference between the RPA tools we are seeing in the market? What is the test automation and why we need to automate the testing? Yes. So test automation. So why we need to automate the test? So why first of all why we need to test it? So whenever we are developing an application, yes, whenever we are developing an application, so everyone are looking for a clean product without any bugs to release. Yes, even though then how much market your product occupied is also depends on the percentage of bugs. Yes, obviously we can say that there is no product with 100% clean. There is no product with no bug. Yes, at least each and every product will have the bugs. At least we are supposed to be try to avoid to remove the maximum percentage of bugs. Yes, that's our main motto. So what is meant by testing? So whenever we are going to be release a product, then first we are supposed to be do some kind of testing on that. So mostly, just I mean, imagine most of you people know about some basics of manual testing. Yes. So whenever you're receiving a product, whenever you're receiving a build, yes, we are supposed to be do some smoke testing on that one. Is that build is ready for the test or not? Yes, we are supposed to be test that. We are supposed to be tested. So once it is ready, then we are need to do some sanity testing. Some kind of different types of testing is going on that. So here in this scenario, one of the main important testing is here regression testing. When we are going to be when we are going to be do the regression testing, whenever that new build coming into the picture, yes, whenever you are attaching, whenever you are integrating the new build with the existing builds, whenever you are going to be integrate the new feature with the existing features of your product, yes, you are supposed to be test after integration, your new feature is working fine without any adjustments. Then at the same time, we have one more test, one more scenario we are supposed to be test. After integrating the new feature, yes, we are supposed to be test all the neighbor features. Yes, we are supposed to be test all the neighbor features. We supposed to make sure those neighbor features are not affected. Those neighbor features are not affected. Yes, we are supposed to be test that also. So at the same time, whenever you find the bug, yes, we report the bug. Then once we report that bug, developers will fix that. Then it will get back to you. It will get back to you. So you are supposed to be retest that is that bug fixed or not. At the same time, once that bug fix, we need to retest. At the same time, we need to just a minute. Yes, at the same time, we need to test the nearest builds to make sure those builds are not affected after fixing of this bug. Yes, these two scenarios we are supposed to be call it as a regression test. So whenever your product is keep on developing, whenever your product is keep on developing, whenever sorry, whenever you're going to be add the new features, every time these regression scenarios are going to be increase. So that these regression scenarios are going to be increase at the same time these regression scenarios are almost fixed. The old regression scenarios what we are supposed to be test, those always fix mostly 99%. So each and every time whenever you are adding very simple feature to your application, or whenever you receive a fix for simple bug, yes, we are supposed to be test all the nearest builds, so that we need to execute a lot of regression test cases manually, so that these regression test case fixes fixed one. So whenever we are trying to execute them by the human beings, they are supposed to be execute the same test cases repeatedly. At the same time, they're supposed to be execute a lot of scenarios whenever very small change happen in your product, so that to avoid this particular take much time. So that we to avoid these scenarios, we are using some another software tools. We are another group of softwares to automate this particular scenario, to automate this software. So that one is called automation here. So here we are going to be use some kind of software which can able to mimic the human behavior. So if you are using the Selenium, or if you are using QFT, or if you are using something else, yes, those tools are having some capability of they're having their own capabilities to behave like a human being. Exactly how human being click on that one, exactly how human being can do like drag and drop action, or exactly how human being can able to select the drop down. Yes, these all the actions we can able to perform by using these type of tools. So we are going to be automate these actions by using some software, some group of softwares or automation tools. So what are the advantages by using this one? Is first thing, so no, once if you write a script, once you automated one scenario, those scenario you can able to execute any number of times, and you can able to use those scenarios, you can able to reuse that also, so that it will save the time and cost. So it's not only save, it's not how this is not only the way how it's going to be saved, it's same thing, it's very fast also to execute an application, to execute an application to execute a script manually. If it is taking 100 minutes, then we can say automation is at least 60% faster than the manual scenarios. At least 60% faster than manual execution. That's why it saves the time and cost. Yes, 70 to 75%. This is an ideal case. 70 to 75% faster than the manual execution. So that we can save the time there. We can cover the wider area of application to test. So we can execute the each and once if you automated that feature, yes, whenever you want, you can able to execute that. Just open and click on the run. That's the only action required from our end. Just we are supposed to run that. Then it's go and go and test that application how you scripted earlier, so that there is no chance of missing scenarios. If you if you scripted that scenario once, then no need of missing. Sorry, no chance of missing. Every time it will go and test, so that it's very reliable. There is no missing. There is no chance of committing mistakes. Why? Because we have automated that. It's going to be follow each and every line. There is no wow. There is no wow look happen here. So that's the results what we are going to be get from the automation scripts are very reliable. Then it will avoid the human intervention at the time of test execution. So it will increase the efficiency. Whenever those executions are reliable, obviously it's going to be increase efficiency and reusable. Once you scripted, yes, same type of scenarios you are facing somewhere in application, some other area in application. Yes, no need to script it again and again. You can able to reuse that. Then so already we scripted them. We have scripts for that one. You can execute how number of times, how many number of times you want, so that you can test it frequently and thoroughly. Then more cycles of execution can be achieved through an automation. Yes, and one more important point. So whenever this agile methodology is coming into the picture in software industry, yes, if you are going to be release a product, then they are having as per the release criteria. So one of the important rule here is as per the release criteria in Agile, one of the important rule is 80% of the test cases should be automated. That is the release criteria. Yes. Whenever those industries, yes, most of the product-based companies they are following Agile rules very strictly. In that scenario, yes, if you develop an application, then you are going to be develop a product some build and you are going to be release that one. Yes, as per the release criteria, one of the point you're supposed to be satisfied that is you, you need to automate 80% of test cases. 80% of test cases is nothing but 80% of automatable test cases. Why I'm using this one? 80% of automatable test cases. Is there any test case which are not able to automate? Yes, we are having something. We are having something. So what are those scenarios we are not able to automate? Yes, we can discuss in next slide. Yes, what is the Selenium? Yes, just we discussed. Selenium is nothing but a suite of softwares. Suite of softwares. Just it's a just we are using the Selenium to automate a web applications. To automate a web applications. Yes, Selenium can capable of mimic the human behavior and it can able to work on a web application just like a human being. Yes. So in this scenario, I, highly, I highlighted automated web application interaction. Yes, Selenium can able to automate an application in web application. So I'm saying here web application. Yes, it's also one of the limitation for the Selenium. Yes, we can discuss it in this slide. So these are the different stages of Selenium, different versions of Selenium. The first one is Selenium IDE. Selenium IDE is nothing but Selenium Integrated Development Environment. So by using Selenium IDE, we can able to automate the application and we can able to record and play back them also.
ఓకే నా నాకు నేను కనెక్ట్ అయ్యాను ఓకే
Yes, we can able to just a minute. Yes. So we can able to record and play back the actions here. Yes. We can able to record the test and we can able to play back them in Selenium IDE. So in 2016, Selenium IDE is officially deprecated from the Selenium itself. But later they released in latest version. So now we are having Selenium IDE. Earlier Selenium IDE is a add-on only plugin for the Mozilla Firefox browser. At the time we can able to use only in Firefox. Now we can able to use the Selenium IDE in different browsers. It's a simple add-on supposed to be added to your browser. That's it. There is no other installations will require it. Yes. So in real-time market, yes, as an automation tester, yes, you are not going to work any more in Selenium IDE. Still, Selenium IDE is using once DevOps coming into the picture. But as an automation tester, you're not going to be you're not going to be test anything with Selenium IDE. We are supposed to script them. So, what is Selenium IDE? What is the basic scenario? Yes, we have a we are going to be discuss that for understanding purpose. Then Selenium RC. Selenium RC is nothing but Selenium remote control. So now Selenium RC is also officially deprecated. There is no RC, no more RC in market. So this is another version. At the time, Selenium and WebDriver is both are different from different vendors. Then later, both of them combine together and come up as Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver. Now we are going to be learn the Selenium WebDriver. So now we are going to be learn and we are going to be work on a Selenium WebDriver version 3, stable version 3.141. Yes. Then Selenium Grid. Yes, whenever you're trying to execute your test case on multiple environments, in that scenarios, we are going to be use Selenium Grid. Then why we need to choose Selenium only? Yes, this is very common and this is one of the finest point to tell this to the answer. So why Selenium is that much famous and why we are using this one? Why? Because Selenium is an open source. Selenium is an open source. That's why it's no need to pay anything. It's very that's why it's very popular in market. Yes. Immediately so many people may have a question. We are having some other tools also in market which are free open source. Then why those are not that much famous? Yes. You can see here. You can see Protractor. You can see Nightwatch. You can see some other tools. You can see even though Catalan Studios is one of the time it's raised like nothing. Then later it's not able to cross the Selenium. Yes, why? Because the tools what we discuss now, those all are internally using this WebDriver libraries only. Internally, those all the tools are depends on the Selenium. Yes, those tools depends on the Selenium. Those tools are using the Selenium libraries. Then how they can work on Selenium? It's not possible. That's why. So we can say just in a market now in a open source market we have number of more than 10 number of tools which are there in market which are famously using in different companies and areas. So out of those 10 to 15 tools we can say in market in open source scenarios open source markets only two tools, one is Cypress and second one is Puppeteer. These are latest tools. One is Cypress, another one is Puppeteer. These two are the only tools which are not depending on the Selenium, which are not using the Selenium libraries. Yes. Other than these two names, you can say any other tool name. Those all are depend on Selenium WebDriver libraries only. They all are using internally WebDriver libraries. So that's why Selenium is that much famous. Then it supports multiple browsers. So if you see here, if you look into some other tools, those tools having those limitations. Even though what I'm telling right now, the tool which is not dependent on Selenium, so in that one, Cypress is one of the tool. Still for the Cypress, there is no stable version for the multiple browser execution. Yes, 8 months back, 8 months back, Cypress started supporting the Mozilla Firefox browser, but still there is no stable version there. Still, we used to execute on the Chrome only. Yes. So like that, if you compare some other tools, Selenium is one of the best stable tool to support the multi-browser execution. At the same time, it supports multiple programming languages. Yes. If you consider Protractor, it supports only JavaScript and TypeScript. Yes, Cypress, it supports only JavaScript and TypeScript. Nightwatch supports only JavaScript and TypeScript. JetSpark supports only Groovy language. Yes, we have different tools, but we have a limitation. Those tools are supporting only some of the languages. Yes, even though QTP, Micro Focus QTP, even still, this supports only some of the languages. VBScript. Then, if you see here, it supports the multiple programming languages. You can able to automate Selenium with Java or C Sharp or C, a Python, a Perl, Ruby. Yes, anything you can able to use. Then it supports multiple operating systems. Yes, it supports multiple operating systems. Still, some licensing tools are platform dependent. Still some even licensing tools also. Some of the licensing tools are not supporting multi-operating system, but Selenium is supporting that. Selenium supports multiple frameworks. Yes, what is meant by framework? Yes, this is a different scenario we can discuss. These are the different points we are having. Yes, that's why we are going to be choose the Selenium. Okay. So before going to this point, yes, I'll show you just by automating some scenarios. Yes, before going to that, so we can say 80 percentage of automatable test cases. This is one of the main release criteria in Agile. We are supposed to be automate 80 percentage of the automatable test cases. Sorry. So what is meant by automatable test cases? Is there any test case which are not automatable? Yes. Yes, we are not able to automate 100% test cases. Yes, some scenarios. I supposed to be validate the font. I supposed to be validate some images. I supposed to be validate. Need to do some cosmetic testing. Yes, we are not able to automate the cosmetic scenarios. Yes, still we have limitations. Even you can able to switch between the tools, licensing tools. You can able to switch between the packages. Still, if a limitation is there. Image comparison we are able to do by using the programming language, but it's very slow whenever those images are going to keep on increasing the size or keep on increasing the number. So we have some limitations. We are not going to be automate each and everything. We are not able to automate also. We have a limitations there. At the same time, we can say automation testing is not a replacement for the manual testing. Yes, automation testing is not a replacement for the manual testing. Automation testing, in automation, we can't able to do everything just how a manual tester can do. Yes, but majority of work we can able to do very fastly than manual tester. That is the difference. So never automation testing is never replacement for the manual testing here. At the same time, yes, one more thing, we can able to automate web application by using the Selenium. Yes, in that statement, you can see here why we are saying web application. Yes, Selenium itself is having a limitation. Selenium can able to automate only web applications. Web application is nothing but what the applications you are going to be open in a browser, those type of applications only. So it's not able to communicate or it's not able to automate the desktop based applications. It's like an Excel sheet, like some other tools we need to install in our system. Yes, those type of desktop based applications we are not able to automate by using the Selenium. By using the Selenium, yes, we can able to automate only web applications. This is the one of the limitation we are having in Selenium. Yes, then so any questions as of now? Any questions?
No, sir.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, it is clear as of now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So in order to test a desktop application, we can't use Selenium Java, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So only specific to the web testing.
Yes, only specific to the web-based testing.
Okay, not even for mobile also.
Yes, not even for mobile also. For mobile, we are having separate tool. Even though those tools also depends on Selenium WebDriver libraries, so that like 60% is same in mobile automation and here.
Okay, may I know the tool name which is
Appium.
used for? Sorry.
Appium.
Appium. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So even though, yes, at the part of testing, at the part of end-to-end scenarios, if you want, whenever you face an application like where you are supposed to be upload a file or download a file, in that scenarios, we are finding one folder window from where from there we are supposed to be select the folders, right? So even though that window is a desktop based window, then how we are going to be handle that? Yes, for these type of simple handling scenarios, either we are going to be integrate some third party tool like Sequely or Auto IT, or otherwise we can use the robot class in Java. So for simple scenarios, yes, we are going to be handled, but it's a very lengthy process on the desktop based windows. Yes, Selenium is not um, preferable for that scenarios. Yeah. So any other questions?
No, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So just we can see, just a minute, I'm trying to automate one scenario. Yes, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So here, so as part of our course, we are going to be use Eclipse IDE for writing the scripts and executing them. So this is Eclipse IDE here. So WebDriver driver. So we are going to be create an instance. Yes, just I'm going to be explain very high level. So WebDriver driver, just we are creating an instance for the WebDriver. So this is a third-party drivers we require to communicate with the browser. Selenium itself, it's not able to communicate with the browser directly. Yes, we are using this part of scenario. Yes, again, we are going to be discuss it in deep while we are started Selenium. So just I'm showing. Just I want to open a Chrome driver equal to just whenever we are supposed to be open driver equal to new Chrome driver. That's it. So when I execute the code till now, so exactly this whenever we are going to be execute this line number 21, just it will go to launch a browser. That's it. Just it will go to launch a empty browser instance. Just you can observe here. I'm going to be execute it. Yes, that's it. That's it. Just I'm calling new Chrome driver so that it's open the new Chrome browser. So whenever we are going to be open a browser by the Selenium, yes, that browser is open with a new instance so that that browser is open in this size only. Yes, if you want to maximize it, you can do it. Yes, we have comment for that one. At the same time, you can observe this is my window. This is my window. So my window having different bookmarks and it's having some of the login IDs, some of the add-ons here. Yes, Selenium ID add-on is there. Yes, some of the add-ons and my login and everything it's having. But if you see here, the window which is opened by the Selenium is not having any of my history. It's not having any of my history. Why? Because Selenium is going to be open a fresh instance every time. So that that feature, that window is not having any of your history or your browser characteristics. That's why it's not having folders or something else. Yes. No, I don't want to open a new fresh instance. Even though it's open, I want a browser with my default browser characteristics. Yes, we can able to do that. But in real time, we are not going to use it. Why? Because in real time, different persons are going to be working in a same project. At the same time, that project should be execute in an independent environment, not on a particular design environment. It's not supposed to be execute on your designed environment. So that we are not going to be use that in real time. Yes, this then it's open like this, so that then after opening this one, just I want to maximize that window, then driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. That's it. This is a command to maximize the window. Then what I need to do? Yes, it's going to be maximized. Then what is my next step? Just I want to test this particular, it means I want to test this particular login scenario, so that in an empty browser I need to launch this scenario, need to launch this particular URL. So we have a comment for that one. Yes, whenever you want to launch a URL in your browser, supposed to be write driver dot get. So driver dot get is a method. It will require one input parameter of string. So whenever we are using this method, it's going to be launch an URL in your browser. Yes, it's going to be launch the URL. So once it's launched the URL, so my requirement here, I want to enter the username and password. That's my requirement. Yes, I want to enter these two scenarios. Then how I can able to do that? Yes. So anyone please. So if I'm asking you to execute some manual scenario, yes, I want to execute. I want you to execute this particular sign-in scenario manually. So what is the manual steps you are going to be do? Yes, anyone please. What are the manual steps you are going to be do in this scenario?
Enter the valid admin, enter the valid username, enter a valid
Yes.
password, and click on login button.
Yes, how you are going to be enter? Yes, Kitty, how you are going to be enter?
Yeah, we enter using that home page.
So
Sorry,
we
I didn't
actually
understand.
we click on the username and password,
Yeah,
and then
yes,
yeah. So the
yes,
operation is
exactly.
yeah.
Yes. So generally, while we are doing it manually, so we are going to be click on this particular field before entering. This is one action we generally we used to follow. Yes. Why? Because we are supposed to be make sure we are working on that element. Yes. So why we are clicking on that? Just we are making sure just we are going to enter the text in this particular field. So now this action entering the text into the sign in field. So this is the action I want to do by Selenium. Just I'm asking Selenium to do this action. Just I'm asking Selenium, please enter a username in username field. Yes. So we are the human beings. We have an intelligence, so that we by seeing this window, we can able to understand this is username field. Yes. Selenium is a normal tool. It's not developed on top of the artificial intelligence. It's not having any intelligence to remember the prior results. Then how Selenium can able to identify where is the username field? Selenium is not having any intelligence. Just Selenium can able to do the work what you ask to do. That's it. So if you want to ask Selenium to do some work, then you are supposed to be give some two input parameters. First one, while you are going to be asked Selenium to do some work, first thing you are supposed to be passed to Selenium. For the first input you need to pass to the Selenium is where it's supposed to be work and what is supposed to be do. Yes, where it need to work, where it need to do the action, then what action is need to do. Yes, these two parameters you are supposed to be passed to the Selenium. then only Selenium can able to do the action properly. So where Selenium need to work? Yes, first Selenium, I want to enter Selenium. I want to enter the username by using the Selenium. Yes, then that's fine. So where Selenium need to enter the username? Yes, Selenium need to enter the username in a username field. Yes, if I'm asking Selenium, please go and enter the username in a username field, then say how Selenium can able to understand. Yes, Selenium is not having any intelligence. So that we need to identify the address of this particular username field, and we need to pass that to the Selenium first. That is the first thing we need to do every time. Yes, yes. First we have to fetch the address of that particular field. Then we are passing that address to the Selenium. Yeah, this is the address. Please go to this address and enter the username. Or this is the address. Please go to this address and click on it. Or this is the address. Please go to this address and select the option from the drop down. Or a double click, or a right click, or a drag and drop. Yes, those actions we are going to be as per our requirement. But if any action, the primary requirement here, we are supposed to pass the address. Are supposed to be passed the address. So how I came to know, how I can able to identify that address here? Yes. So if you want to find out the address of that particular field in entire the web page, yes, it's very simple. Just go to just mouse over on that element for which element you are trying to identify the address. Just go there. Then right click on that. Just click on inspect. That's it. So whenever you click on the inspect, it's going to be open a developer mode here. Yes, it's going to open a developer mode. So these are the different tags we are having. So see, by default, when it's going to be open a developer mode, one tag was highlighted here. One tag was highlighted here. So this is the tag which are representing this particular username field. This is the tag which are representing this particular username field. So that this tag is having the different attributes. This tag is having different attributes. That means different characteristics. So by using these different attributes, we can say this is a tag. The first letters which are there in separate color, yes, this is a mechanism how we are going to be identify these everything we are having in a separate class. Just I'm explaining in very high level as part of demo. Okay, so this is the input. This is the name for this entire tag. So input here is the name. Here div is the name. Here span is the name. We used to call it as a tag names. So this is input tag. It's having different attributes: name attribute, ID attribute, and type attribute. By default, Selenium supports only ID, name, class name, link text. Yes, these four only. You can able to use these four attributes only. But if you see here, type attribute is there, value attribute is there. Even though if it is having some other attributes also, we are not able to use those attributes as part of locators in Selenium. Yes, we need to use these four only directly. So I can able to use ID, just copy it. So this is the attribute ID. The value associated with that ID is this is. So this is the key, this is the value. Yes, I'm copying that attribute ID attribute value and go to your Eclipse here. Just now I'm asking hi driver Selenium. So here driver is nothing but Selenium. So hi driver, please find a element. Find a element. How you are going to be find? Yes, please call a student. If I'm asking anyone to please call that student from the 8th class, how they are used to call, how they can able to call the student? We are supposed to give one characteristic: student name, student roll number. Yes, these scenarios. Yes, like that. I'm asking Selenium, please find an element by using ID. By using ID attribute. So that ID attribute value is, please call a student with the name. Name is just Ram or Krishna. We are supposed to be passed like that. By ID, ID value is, yes, use the name. Please identify that name first. Please identify that field first. Okay. Okay, Selenium can able to identify that. Then after identifying that one, that field, you can see here, this is the tag is highlighting. So whenever I mouse over on that tag, your username field is highlighting automatically. How I can able to know which tag is highlighting that field? No need to identify anything. No need to do any hard work here. Just go there and right click and click on inspect. That's enough. That's enough. Okay. Then After identifying that particular field, what I need to do? Yes. So now Selenium is identifying that field. Then after identifying what the action you want to do, yes, as per my requirement, I need to enter the username in that particular field. Yes, what is the action manually we used to do? So I want to enter the username. So what is the manual action for that one?
Go to that particular field and click
Okay.
on it and
Then
enter the value.
what is the action to enter the value? What is the
Click on that field.
yes, after clicking, so if you want to enter, what is the action you need to do here? If you are doing it
Keypress.
yes, key press. So we are typing something, right? So for that manual typing, we have a method in Selenium. So it's exact replacement for typing. That one is called send keys. Send keys. So in send keys, you are supposed to be passed what you want to enter as a string format. Send keys is a method. It will take one input argument in a string format. So 8-bit. I want to enter the 8-bit. That's it. Then now I want to interact with the password field. Then I want to enter my password. It's simple. Just go there, right click, and click on inspect. That's it. So see here, this is the field highlighting. So whenever I mouse over on that one, the password field is highlighting here. Yes, here also ID and name is there. These both the attributes are supported by the Selenium. You can use anything. So earlier we used ID. Now I'm going to take a name. Just driver.find element. Again, just I'm asking Selenium to find an element by earlier user by using attribute name. Just now I want to use name. Then the value of the name what I copied from the UI. Yes, while you are trying to practice, please copy the values, attribute values from UI. Don't try to type. Why? Because we may face some kind of spaces or character case sensitivity cases. So here case sensitivity is there. If you are using the lowercase in part of uppercase or uppercase in part of lowercase, it's going to be fail. Then after identifying that, I need to enter the password. Yes, password. So type is send keys. Password is admin123. Yes. Then later, I want to click on the login button. Click on the login button. Yes, if you want to click, first you're supposed to be identify that. So just inspect it. Yes, this is the button. This is having name and ID. Just you can use ID. Anything is fine. Name or ID. But even you can use class also. Just please find an element by using ID. That value what I copied here. How I from where I'm getting this btn login. From here I'm copying ID value. I'm copying here. Dot send. Yes, I want to click on that one. For that also we have a method dot click itself. That's it. So just you can see I'm going to be execute this. Is enter the username, password, and click on the login button. That's why we are in dashboard page. That's why we are in dashboard page. Yes. After that, I want to click on an admin button. Yes, it's having an ID. You can copy it. I would not find element by dot ID. Then I want to click on this one. Click on admin. It's going to be open in admin page. So here I want to enter the username and I want to select the role. Then how I can able to? Yes. Again, if you want to enter the username, select that field. Yes, having a name and ID attributes. So you can copy it name. You can try dot find element by dot name. Dot send keys. Then later I want to select the drop down. So this is a different scenario how we can able to handle the drop downs. I think okay, just I'll show you, but I'm not going to explain anything here. Bit early to explain right now. Yes. Select by just I want to select by visible text. Then what you want to select? I want to select ESS from this one. Let's see how it's going to be executed. Then I can explain it. Yes, you can see here. It's open the window and it's click on the admin button. In the admin page, it sends the username and selected the user role. Here is that user role is all. Now it's selected to ESS. That ESS I used to pass here. So this is the way how we are going to be automate. So this selection
What
now.
is it ESS?
Sorry.
What's that ESS?
Yes,
Where we have
ESS
given
is
in our coding?
yeah, ESS is one of the option in this particular drop down. I want to select that drop down option from the drop down. That's why I used to give that.
No, like where you have given this user role drop down in our coding.
This you're asking about this line number 39
Yes,
user role.
where we have given
Yeah,
that user role.
yes, I created a web element here in line number 37.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah. So here we used to create a web element for yes. If you want to interact with any drop down, yes. So we have a separate class in Selenium. That one is select class. So while we are creating a select class object, we used to pass one input parameter. That one is a web element. So that web element we need to pass that web element. So this web element is belongs to the location of the drop down for which drop down you want to work, you want to interact. Yes, I'm creating a web element for the drop down. I want to interact with the user role drop down. That's why I created a web element for the user role drop down. That I used to pass here while creating a object for the select class. Then I have a method select by visible text. So in this scenario, we are supposed to be pass one input parameter text, exactly what option you want to select from the drop down. Yes, I used to pass ESS. That's why we selected ESS here. Yeah. So just for the showing, just for the demo purpose, I've written this code. Yes, explaining this and understanding also is a bit early right now, so that I don't want to keep driving too deep. Yes, any or otherwise any questions regarding this one?
Can we like reduce this execution speed because we couldn't find like which step is
Okay.
going on? It was very fast. Can we reduce the speed of the
Ye-
execution,
Yeah.
or can we debug in middle?
Yes, I'm going to be add some sleeps here. Yes, I'm asking to pause for 2 seconds.
Yeah, thank you.
Just after each and every step, it's going to be wait for 2 seconds. Pause the execution for 2 seconds and it's automatically resume. Yes, it's enter the username. Now it's enter the password. It's going to click on the login. It's already clicked. Yes. Now it's going to click on admin. Yes, it's clicking there. Now it's going to be enter username. It's going to be select password user role. Now it's all. It's going to be select ESS. Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Is it clear?
Yeah, thank you so much. Because first time, like previous time when you have executed, we couldn't even realize which step was it executing. It went very fast.
Okay. Yeah. So this is thread.sleep is just nothing but just we are asking Java to pause the execution for 2 seconds. This is a Java command we are having. So just we are asking Java to pause the entire execution for 2 seconds. It's going to be pause that. After each and every step, it's going to be pause the execution. That's why we can able to observe very clearly. Yeah. So this is a very high level basic execution, basic program execution. So this is a normal way how we are going to be write a scripts in Selenium. So the first common question, so where we use Java here, how much Java is required, then where exactly using Java logics here, so how much Java we need to learn. So this is one of the common question generally I used to face. So why Selenium with Java? So these are the different reasons why we are going to be choose Java only. So as we discussed, Selenium will support the multiple programming languages. Then why we need to Java itself? Why we need to Java only? Why? Because yes, we are having very good support. At the same time, Java itself is developed on top of the Selenium itself is developed on top of Java, so that Selenium is very responsive while we are working with the Java. So at the same time, Java is a platform independent, so that you can able to use both Selenium Java combination in any platform. At the same time, in real time, most of the applications, 80% of the applications still now they're developed on top of the Java, so that it's very easy and it's a very preferable way to automate those applications with Selenium and Java. So these are the different regions. Yes, even though from the installation onwards, and so for the support, it's very easy to get the support from internet also. So we are having number of helping forms to get the help while if you block somewhere in the time of coding. Then how much Java we need to learn? Yes, see here. The first scenario. So just we enter the username field. Just we enter the username and password, click on the login button and click on the admin button, enter the username and drop down option. Yes. So if I enter the username and drop down option, and if I click here on search, yes, there is no records found. If no records found, then I use it to inform the user there is no records found with this username. Yes. Now I'm going to be change the username field. Username field. Then I'm using Jasmine Morgan. Now I'm clicking on search. Yes, I can able to identify Jasmine Morgan here. So if Jasmine Morgan is there, then I need to open the Jasmine Morgan. Then I need to edit some scenario here, edit some username or password, something I need to change here. Employee name or username, something I need to change by click on edit. Then how I can able to do that? If that user is not there, then inform the user. If that result, if you are not finding any result, then inform to the programmer there is no result for this name. If name is there, then select that username, then click on the edit and do some changes. So that is my requirement. If there, you can do it. If not there, you can do it. Then how Selenium can able to take these type of decisions? Selenium is not having any capability of doing these all the scenarios. Then how Selenium can able to do that? Yes, for these type of decision making mechanism, we are going to be use Java. So all these are intelligence we are going to be passed to the Selenium by using the programming language. For that scenario, we are going to be use Java here. Then how much Java we required? Then how much Java we required? Yes. So these are very basic concepts we need to require. The entire core Java we need to learn. We need to learn the core Java. What is the object-oriented concepts? What is class? What is object? What is encapsulation? What is the polymorphism? What is the inheritance? Or what is the basic control statements like if else, if and switch statements, iterative looping statements, array concepts, threads and multi-threading concept, exception handling scenarios, Java control corrections frameworks, Java IO concepts, handling file systems. Yes, these are the different scenarios we are supposed to be learned. Yes, these are all the things we are going to be cover as part of our course. So my course are intended to intended for the people who are not having any knowledge on programming. So that we are going to be start from very basic how to install the Java. Then what is Java? We are going to be start from very basic. Yes, if you are, I'm not having any prior knowledge on Java, I'm not having anything on programming language, any programming language, then how I can able to learn? Yes, that's why we are going to start this course from the Java installation. Yes, entire my course is like more than 40 days. Yes, 40 to 43 days. So here 43 working hours. So here first 15 days we are going to be spent, 15 to 20 days we are going to spend on Java. So once we completed each and every concept of Java, of core Java, then only we are going to jump into Selenium, then TestNG, then framework design. So how to install Java? What is a class? What is an object? What is a string? What is an integer? What are the different functions? Then what is an array? What is the OOPS concepts? What is the exception handling? What is the looping statements? What is the decision making statements? Then what is the collections? What is the list? What is the set? What is the map? Yes. Then what? At the same time, after each and every concept, we are going to be practice the programs interview point of view. After covering all these concepts, only we are moving to the Selenium. Why? Because at the time of starting the Selenium, you're supposed to be learn the Java, or otherwise it not makes sense. That's why we are not going to be start the Selenium immediately from the first day. The first day and second day, I'm going to be show you how to work with Selenium IDE. It's not required any programming language. Then second day and third day, I'll show you how to write some basic locators. Yes, just why I'm teaching locators at the very first stage. Why? Because it's required while we started Selenium. So that's why if I teach them in very early sections, you may got some time to execute. That's why time to practice. Yes, these are different scenarios we are going to be discuss. Yes. So any questions for me regarding structure or regarding something else?
Hi, Vivek.
Yeah, hi Dilip.
Yeah, so in Selenium, is there any way we can monitor the execution, the real-time monitor? Say, for example, if I have some 500 test cases and it is executing each and every test one by one. So can I kind of see somewhere, okay, it is executing the 50th test case or something like that?
So so how you are going to be execute? That's the question here. So you are going to be execute any by using any build tool, or you are going to be execute by any execution engine? Okay. Anyway, it's possible.
Okay, okay. Mm.
But where you are going to be observe that one is depends on the tools or execution engines what you are using. But it's possible.
Okay, so generally other the licensed tools does, I mean, show the status somewhere, for example, test complete and all, somewhere it corner it shows, okay, this is the test that is executing now. So similar Selenium,
Yeah.
or maybe any other tools that can integrate with Selenium where it
Yes.
can show.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
So as per your question, some other licensing tools are showing all these scenarios. Yes. So those are licensing tools. Those that's why they are showing. So Selenium is a freeware. Selenium itself is not going to be show that, but we can able to integrate some third-party tool, so some other execution engine like TestNG, so that we can able to execute all the test cases as a suite, like hundred thousands of test cases. At the same time, before and after each and every test case, you can able to raise a flag, to show that test for the test completion. You can able to do
okay,
that. You can able to achieve that. It's very common. Excel people use to follow in real time.
okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. What is GitHub? So GitHub is nothing but it's like a like, so whenever we are working it's a version controller. GitHub is kind of nothing but version control. It's a common repository. Then all the team members are used to upload the code what they developed there, and we are taking, then other team member can able to update the code with the latest changes who some other person is did. So it's kind of version controller. It's a common repository, so where we use to update the code what we developed or what we changed. Yes. So any other questions for me?
Eclipse, is it an IDE?
Yes, Eclipse is an IDE.
May I know
Eclipse is
like
an
any
IDE.
other IDE which can be used apart from
Yeah,
Eclipse?
yeah, IntelliJ is one of the IDE. These two are the only famous tools there. But IntelliJ is up to IntelliJ, two versions is there. One version is a freeware and one version is a licensing tool. Eclipse is totally free. For Java, most of the companies, like still some of the most of the product-based companies are using Eclipse only. So the generally in the industries, like some of the uh, service-based companies, they are using the IntelliJ to show the client we are using the latest updated tools like that. But even
Yeah, actually,
Eclipse
we
is
are
very,
also using IntelliJ. That's the reason. Maybe if you could take the any session like on IntelliJ, that would be useful because Eclipse we are not using. So in that case, I just want to
yeah,
know that.
yeah, there is no difficulty there. There is no difficulty to switch between these those scenarios. Just is an ID. We are writing the code and we are executing that and we are debugging or something else. That's it. I'll show you that scenarios, how to debug in IntelliJ, how to execute in the IntelliJ. But you didn't find any much difference here.
Okay. But which one is better actually, IntelliJ or Eclipse?
Yeah, that's right. IntelliJ is a licensing one. Eclipse is a free one. That's it. That's the difference.
Then
Major
IntelliJ
difference.
also have a free version, right? You have that, what is it?
Sorry.
Even in IntelliJ, we have a free version, right?
Yeah, but there in free version they give some limited scenarios only. They're limited features only. At the same time,
Oh,
whenever we move to the company side, whenever we move to the industrial side, so obviously they are going to use if that product is having both licensing tool and, and normal freeware, obviously they go for the licensing tool. But why? Because of security reasons.
okay.
Even clients also not happy with the freeware. Means in that scenario,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's added some extra point. We are going to be use the latest licensing tools only. We are not going to be use something else. Um, like that they used to demonstrate.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Vivek. Thank you for the session. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. I think there is no questions for me. Okay. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks, Vivek. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.